Hello, everyone. So, so in today's sections, we are diving into one of the most important concepts in cybersecurity. That is nothing but that's Active Directory. It's also called AD. So even if you are a complete beginner, or if you haven't ever never worked with servers, even if you don't know what authentications or domain means, so don't worry, I will explain everything in a simple way using a real life example so that you can clearly understand how Active Directory works and why attackers target it. Okay, so this sections is designed like a story, starting from a zero and going all the way to expert level understandings. So mainly that focusing on what is Active Directory. So I will give you the simple explanations. Okay. So first of all, we can go through that what is exactly is Active Directory. Okay, Active Directory is nothing but like it's basically the central brain of a Windows network. So whenever you log in into a computer at office, whenever you open your email, or whenever you access a shared file or a folder, so this Active Directories is manages all of that in the background. Okay, so think of an Active Directory as a big database of all people and computers inside a company. Okay, so it stores is like who the users are, what computers they use, what permission they have, what kind of access they should get, and what software they can use, which drivers or folders they can open. So it is like a control center for everything in a company's IT environment. Okay, so I will explain in a simple way. Okay, so real life example coming to that. Imagine a school. Okay, the school offices maintains a list of all students, teachers, and staff, classrooms, and rules. Okay, so if a student wants to enter his classroom, the school office knows if they are belong there. Okay, so and also if a teacher needs access to a lab, the office knows whether they are allowed. And also, if a student leaves the school, the office removes their entry. Okay, so Active Directory is exactly like that, but for computers and users in a company. If your company has 50 employees or a 50,000 employees, Active Directory, that means AD manages every one them in a smoothly. Okay, then I already mentioned here the directory services by Microsoft. So why Microsoft created Active Directory? Years ago, companies had individual computers. Every computer had different users, passwords, and settings. Imagine how difficult it was. Okay, if someone forgot password, IT had to fix it on that machine, right? So if a new employee is joined, IT had to create an account manually on every computer they would use. If a manager needs to access to a folder, so it wants to again do manual work, right? So if a 100 computers needed to security updates, admins just had to update them one by one. So this was a slow, inconsistent, also insecure. Okay, Microsoft solved this by creating Active Directory. With Active Directory, everything became centralized, meaning only one place to create a user account, one place to manage passwords, one place to set security controls, one place to apply the updates, one place to check the logs. So, and all computers follow the rules created in Active Directory. Okay, then coming to the major things like why cybersecurity people must understand AD. Okay, so in today's world, today most almost every medium and large companies is use as Windows, right? Okay. And almost all those companies rely on Active Directory for authentications. This means if AD is secure, the company is secure. Okay. If AD is weak or misconfigured, the entire company is at risk. So attackers know if they have if they compromises AD, they can access all the computers, read all the data, becoming domain admin, spread ransomware, shut down the business operations. This is why almost 90% of cyber attacks involve Active Directory in some form. Okay, so coming to the next section. I'm sorry to move this portion. Okay, so why AD matters in cybersecurity? I already discovered the path. Next we will going through that. Okay, Active Directory is the target, not the computer. Okay, a lot beginners think attackers try to hack individual machines, but in a real world attacks, the hacker's mindset is different. Okay, hackers thinks like this: I don't want this on computer. I want the key to the entire kingdom. So and the keys are stored inside the Active Directory. So attackers break into one weak systems first, then move sideways, steal the credentials, and eventually try to control AD. Once they control AD, they own the entire network. Okay. So in today we are going to the sections what is Active Directory, how it works, why attackers target it, how authentication happenings, and real attacks like pass the hash, golden ticket, and how to secure the AD, real life case studies as common mistake companies as make. Okay, now what is AD? Again, we are explaining the thing is what is Active Directory. So Active Directory as its a core is an identity and access management systems. It is answer the two biggest questions in cybersecurity. Who are you? What are you allowed to do? So every time a user logs in AD, checks their identity, then it checks what access they allowed to have. So suppose example like logging into a company computer. When you go to office and sit at your computer, okay, you type your username and also your password, right? So your computer doesn't authenticate you. It sends the information to Active Directory, and AD all checks is this user real and password is correct, and is this account logged, is this account allowed to log in, or is MFA required, or does this user need password to change. Only if everything is valid, AD allows you to log in it. This whole process happens in a seconds. So Active Directory that is equal to a big organized database. AD stores data like a library. So inside the Active Directory, there are objects like user accounts, computers, printers, admin accounts, service accounts, and group security policies. Each object has attributes. For example, an user object contains a username, full name, employee ID, email, password hash, group membership, last login, access permissions. This is how AD controls everything. So why companies can't operate it without AD? Imagine a company is with 1,000 employees. So every day people log in access files, use apps, join calls, and connect it to Wi-Fi. So without Active Directory, this would be an unmanageable. Okay. So AD makes us everything smooth. One login for everything. So central control, central password management, security policies applied automatically, share folder access handled easily, new employee onboarding fast and simple. So it is literally the backbone of the organization's IT structure. So Active Directory is not just for users. A lot of beginners think AD is only for users, but Active Directory is also manages computers, servers, security rules, printers, network access, group policies, service accounts, domain controllers, file shares. So anything that needs identity or access control goes through Active Directory. Okay. So why AD is a prime cyber attack target? Because hackers target AD for one main reason. If you control AD, you can control also everything. So attackers don't need to hack 50 computers. They just need one weak link. Then they move inside the Active Directory, find the privileges, escalate it, and they take over the network. So real life incident, I will explain you the real life simple example from the real life. Suppose an employee used a weak password like password I2123. So an attacker sprayed a common passwords across thousands of accounts. One of them matched, so the attacker logged in. They used that account to explore Active Directory. Then they found weak service accounts, cracked their passwords, gained the admin rights, and stored all the data, deployed the ransomware. All of this happened because of one weak user, and because of AD was poorly secured. This is why understanding AD is extremely important. Then I'm coming through the key components before we ready to. I hope you guys clearly understand what AD is and why it is so important and powerful. So